we're heading towards Folkestone and we're jumping on the Eurotunnel over to France.
About an hour into Belgium, so we're actually just shy of Bruges. So we were tempted today to go to Bruges, check out some Belgian beer, because that's the typical British thing to do, right? Go to Bruges and get some beer. So from here today, we go up the motorway towards Holland, we cross into Holland, we're in Holland for a little while, and then we cross into the northern corner of Germany, swing around in from Germany to the south of Denmark, and then about halfway up we take a right on the map and we end up in Copenhagen.
So for the best part of 2 months, the Ingham family traipsed around Scandinavia, very much after they'd visited Bruges, and they've gone to Bruges and they went to Bruges again, and they turned left and they turned right and they went up the top and they turned down and they went upside down and everything else. They ended up in Scandinavia.
Oh my goodness, I don't think I've actually ever seen so many birds in one place at one time. Esme described it perfectly. It looks like it's raining birds. It looked like it was absolutely pouring it down with birds.
Prophetic words indeed from Sarah Ingham. It was indeed pouring it down with birds. And what did they eat on this trip of a lifetime in the coldest climates ever? What would anybody eat, right? Cup of soup. And how desperate were they to have their cup of soup? They needed de-icer to get into it.
The top box are frozen. The top boxes, they're frozen closed. So we did prepare for that happening and we brought some of their de-icer sprays. Oh my, alright babe. Alright. 1, 2. So we've got a massive family. Let's go.
Those kids went on an adventure of a lifetime. So many roads which were so dangerous that they almost toppled over on.
Okay, this is a tiny bit terrifying. We just came out of another tunnel. We've gone through millions. We've gone through about 8, 9 tunnels and they've all been super long. We've just come out of this one. Are we skidding? Yeah. Oh.
I thought we were over them.
Okay, my heart just came out of my butt. I don't know if this is going to make the vlog because Chris might not be happy about sharing this. Chris just had the biggest panic attack I've ever seen him have in his whole life. Just completely out of the blue. I'm like, what are you doing? Is that man like, I can't, I need to get out of the van, I need to get out, I can't, I'm putting you all in danger. He's not, we're just on a normal road.
Because they don't have a barrier, that's why.
And the roads don't have a barrier, so it looks scary.
There was so much to do and so much snow to build snowmen and play in the snow and do sledging down the snow. So much fun to be had. Who needed schoolwork though, right?
Oh my gosh, this view already out here is so cool. No justice been done on this camera right now, but oh my gosh, this whole area is so pretty.
The fun was never ending, even for us viewers. Sarah Ingham even had time to woo us in the shower.
This is the face of someone that's just had their first long running hot water for ages down your back shower in over a week.
That was a very pleasant interlude, but back to the serious business of, that's right, endangering your children. Why not? Woo! Let's be honest, let's not beat around the bush. There's very little, if any, schoolwork being done on this trip whatsoever.
Well done!
Eventually, after probably 2.5, 3 hours, we reached the northern point in Sweden, where we reached the Arctic Circle, where we crossed over basically into the Arctic Circle. So we just got into the spa. There's no one in here right now, which is why I'm filming. Said it earlier.
Okay, so it's not all, so I don't need to say anything more. Whoa. So this is like, is this like a...
It's right, I think you can get married in here maybe. Oh my gosh, I just uploaded the video to Instagram a couple of hours ago of Mila going down that ice slide the other day, and there's a couple of people saying, oh my gosh, I would never let my child do that. Careful, Jace! What if she hit her head? Honestly though, Mila is such a daredevil. She's just like Esme was. Just like Esme. There's no stopping her. She wants to join in everything. She wants to have a go. If she doesn't like something, she just won't do it again. But she loves danger, doesn't she? Pretty much everyone that's come here to see if she looks cute has brought a drone, because obviously the view is great from down here, but it's actually best from the air. Or we take a few days off daily vlogging and we actually reach our goal.
Oh, it's absolutely stunning up here. I don't know why, that just looks really menacing. Scary.
Even had time to get buried in the snow though. Fun, fun, fun.
So me and the girls were thinking, how about we do last to leave the sauna? Now this is...
Boy.
Look at the golden arches. Oh my gosh, my window's frozen. Yay! The most northern McDonald's in the world. I have to say, this resort is the best resort I think we've ever stayed at, ever. I wanted to say a massive, massive thank you to Akuka Hotel for putting us up for the 2 nights we stayed there. We did have 2 nights. We did have the 2 nights stay gifted.
But unfortunately, all good things must and do come to an end. And having spent 2 whole months on the road, having fun, enjoying life, being adventurous, having the adventures of a lifetime that only money can buy, it was back down to earth as they returned home.
It feels so weird to be back vlogging. That is definitely the longest we've ever taken off of vlogging. It was like 2 weeks. I don't think we've picked a camera up in almost 2 weeks, which is quite crazy. The way we worked the vlogs though means that you haven't missed 2 weeks worth of content. Probably about a week maybe, something like that. But we're home, we're back.
So now that they are home, it's down to work. Down to business, down to schoolwork. Schoolwork must be gotten back with because they've spent so long on the road, and as we know and have proved, there is no way that any schoolwork was ever done in the back of that van. There just wasn't enough room. So back to work, and how are they going to get back and catch up? Well, I have just the person for them. Those kids need Professor Christopher Ingham. Introducing Professor Christopher. Now, Professor Christopher has a wide-ranging amount of talents which he brings to the table. He's the #1 expert in medicine, if that is the kid's chosen profession.
And because I used to work here, I know all the codes for stuff that goes on here. Like, I know that they had a couple of major traumas in tonight whilst I was here.
So get those kids studying and they could well end up following in Professor Christopher's footsteps and become a doctor. Or what about the possibility of a maths degree? Maths is a really tough subject for most people, but I'm telling you, they have the best teacher in Professor Christopher that they could ever wish for if that was their chosen field.
Anyway, so I knuckled down, I got to college. I knuckled down so hard in college to get these grades that I wanted that I went from just being able to scrape by in maths to get onto the A-level course to actually completely like getting the top grade at AS. I was absolutely smashed it. I even won an award that year for how good I'd become at doing A-level maths. It was really weird. I kind of like had a really amazing teacher, and I discovered that I had like a real niche for doing maths, and I really enjoyed it and I loved it, and it was obviously something that I wanted to do as a career, so it made me much more focused and driven to do it. Anyway, it got to the end of my first year at college. I was doing really well. I came into my second year of my A-levels, and I was predicted by all my teachers to get the top marks, A stars, all the way through my A-levels. I got really good recommendations from my teachers to go to university. I got a university placement in Reading.
Professor Christopher is an inspiration to us all, clearly. He went from a pure nobody in mathematics circles to being the best of the best, and even winning awards, everybody, for how amazing he did at maths. So, where can you go from being a maths legend? One of the footsteps that they can take is to enter the field of meteorology, which Professor Christopher also aspired to.
And then it got to year 11 and it was time for GCSEs, and I knew by the time I was in year 11 what I wanted to do with my life. I was absolutely desperate to be a meteorologist, and I wanted to go to Oklahoma in America and study tornadoes and severe thunderstorms, because that was what I was absolutely obsessed with. I was mad interested in tornadoes and severe thunderstorms and all that sort of thing after watching the movie Twister, which inspired me mega back then. The university, I got a university placement in Reading to go do meteorology, with half of my course study being in Oklahoma in America, where I wanted to be. I was so desperate to be there because that's where tornadoes happen. And I also got a placement at the University of Oklahoma as well to do the same degree. I basically smashed it, and I got really amazing university placement offers.
Now, if medicine or maths or meteorology isn't really your passion, why not follow Professor Christopher's real passion in life? What is that? That is the field of aviation. But how do they learn aviation when they're homeschooling? That is the big question. Now, if you've been paying attention, that question has been answered time and again by Professor Christopher's #1 fan, that is Sarah Ingham.
You can do this thing called unschooling homeschool, where you can homeschool but you don't actually have to follow any rules. So you don't have to do maths or English or anything like that. If you're interested in planes, you can just learn all about planes. It's basically what some parents do, no structure type thing, and they learn by the guidance of the child.
So as the professor's wife rightly puts it, you can learn about planes. If you want to learn about planes, you can learn about planes. But how? How, you ask? How would one go about learning about planes when, does Professor Christopher have the relevant expertise? You better believe he does. So there we have it, guys. Fear not, the kids may have been on the trip of a lifetime over the past few months, but they're back home now and they could not be in safer hands, whether it be medicine, maths, meteorology or pilotism. Professor Christopher has them covered, and even if they wanted to go into the field of physics, I believe he also has an A-level or degree in physics. So there is nothing to be worried about. Anybody that says the Ingham children are suffering educationally, no, they have it all in the hands of Professor Christopher. So thank you so much for taking this trip down memory lane and future lane, if that's a thing. So please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, because we're going to follow the Ingham's educational journey for the next so many months to see if they toe the line and Professor Christopher is indeed all he is cracked up to be. Until next time, take care, and I'll see you again then. Bye bye.